My sons will be great men, I know. My mother's voice is bright and even, confident in joy, jubilant, restrained. I've returned to school, tired, lightheaded, after 5 long months of washing dishes, asking favors, and giving blood to pay the rent. I have returned and Amma is proud of me again. She tells me so over the phone. I am her favorite and will do great things. Be a bright badge. She is so sure. She is sure because it is nice to be sure. She is sure that God would like her to be sure. She is sure fear is weakness. It is better to be certain, and certitude is stamped plain as day on her breast. My Amma used to show me the mark. Brown and unspectacular, not a mole, not a freckle, that sat resplendent beneath her right breast when she wanted me to know my fate. Great things, she would say. Great things. It was great-grandma who first schooled her about the omen in her shirt, deciphered the meaning of her speckled chest as they lay, old and young, in the dappled, starry black that was night for young girls in Daegu, South Korea after the war. Red sky at night means clear day tomorrow. Summer sex makes spring babies, and a single spot beneath a woman's breast means fortunate sons, blessings, and man-children. And I love my mother. I love her with an embattled, eldest son, young man love, remembering the buxom goddess of home and kitchen who made me clay from flour and water, held my hand when my chickenpox itched and pinched my nose so it wouldn't look like my father's, knowing that she wonders who I am now at times. I love her, and have hated her, have been burned by the rash heat of her caring for me the best way she knew how, but could never, would never make ghost of her, make believe her into paper. I refuse to Maxine Hong my mother, dwarf her, dry her out, crumple her up, make her a story, deny her the space to joke, to lie, to be foolish and real. My mother is no more inscrutable or alien to me than any other mother to any other child, separated by time, ambivalent years, fights and more fights, growing I up, she ever older, and the chaotic din that makes our talk so unruly is the clash of many cultures, the noise of tradition's ruin, and the Doppler effect of my second generation normalization, and the mysterious movement of forces greater than we, forces that split countries and leave mother tongues tied, and we cry on the phone sometimes. Stupid capitalism, I say. No, she says between sniffles. Money is everything. And she tells me the story of the old Korean man, the genteel sir of the Yi dynasty who stroked his beard all day, studied the Analects and wrote long poems that didn't rhyme about birds and metaphysics. He had no job, not even work study. He drank old water from a hollowed gourd and refused to fix the hole in the roof. His poor wife, whose youth and dowry had been squandered so he could purchase leather-bound copies of the classics, gamble at Chinese chess, and drink rice wine, had to do needlepoint for the villagers so they could buy beans, which he ate raw, the lazy-ass bastard. He ate, and he digested, he stroked his beard, and then slept, dreaming of Gongja and virtue and Tao. Oh, Ma, I say. I protest and we argue, we spar, and I request a moment of silence for old Korea's pre-capitalist past, vanished so quickly and disappeared from all memory, distorted, bent, stretched like my parents and their sweaty, old, working folk backs. Then I hit her up for some money. Stories, so many stories, more stories. My mother is full of stories, huddling with her brothers and sisters and the television under a woolen blanket to watch Elvis's bucking American pubis unbeknownst to my grandparents. Stories. There were no oranges in Korea after the war, so grandma would mix up a pitcher of Tang in the morning. Stories. We traded cigarettes for K-rations, lost our dog, and found it three-legged. When I was in 3rd grade, I ran the 50-meter dash in my long underwear and won, and the boys cheered, and your grandfather almost beat me to death once. And grandma said, run, run, if you want to live, run. And I could have, but I didn't. I've forgiven him now. He was wrong, but I forgave him. It's important to be able to forgive someone. Stories. I don't dream anymore. You're my dreams. Stories. I don't fear anymore. I have Jesus now. Stories. I don't feel sad, so don't you feel sad. Stories. My beautiful mother, quiet fighter, character actor, moody flower, big mouth dragon, Amerasian cocktail spiked with double contradiction. My mother, who I cannot spite, though she can't explain, won't explain, can't explain me, won't explain herself. We are human and Asian, though these words lie far apart sometimes in this big, brooding, unpronounceable country. Should I protest? Make marks on her back, make my eyes round with rage till my skin turns all colors. You make no sense, I might say. You never made sense. I don't believe in beatific, blemished bosoms. I don't think He-Man or the Smurfs are Titanic. I don't think rock and roll is the devil's music. I don't roll up my windows on the south side. Why am I the American one? You're the one who chose this place. Why am I the ignorant one? You don't know Korea either, not anymore. I don't belong anywhere because you don't belong anywhere. Your signs are mistakes. I don't believe you. I want to live in New York. I want to be 6 feet tall. I want curlier hair. I want to sing on key. This is all your fault. I didn't choose this. I don't believe you. And my mother would cry, would tear the world from its easel and stuff it down her throat, crumple up our fight into a gagging sound, wet it with tears until it wore away, wipe it on her sleeve, must the colors with her hand, love it like a child, love it like a child, love it like a child. Love it like a child, and as she cries, I would think she is clutching my birthright right now, and I would tear my hair and curse every bullshit story about swordswomen from Guangdong province to Jeju Island. I would bend Charlie Chan and Fu Manchu into paper cranes and hats you can wear. I would call the mandate of heaven against the tyrannical hate that rebounds upon itself again and again and again and again in my yellow brain, and I would burst forth from our argument her dream, her son. If only I knew how, if only I could, and eat every bitter on my Omanim's plate, whether served by John Wayne, the kitchen god, or Jesus Christ, and my mother would forgive. She has learned to forgive. That's okay, Sonny, she would say. You are a great son. I hope that when I marry, my wife has a mark like that too, I say slowly, trying to make her laugh. Yes, she says gravely. You must check her chest first.
Cindy Crawford can kiss my brown ass and see KKK, and Kate Moss ain't got nothing on the styles and matters of national importance such as this late-breaking news in Wicker Park. Mommy, that is my mom, here with the titos and tita-nitas in the back porch of yet another back porch behind Yuki Rican pole fences slapped by midnight Krylon campaigns play mahjong and dominoes while contemplating being up, me growing up 2 stories. Whoa, hold the press. Ano ba yan? What is that? And like Filipino Catholics genuflecting and bowing to the side of a white circular host, Santa Nino dropped money on the floor. Apparently they cashed in on nothing other than my stank toes and a pair of DC Superman flip-flops. My God, you know what this means, anak? Tito boy number 1 said. What, I just took a shower, man. What, I've been wearing my chanelas. No. I think it's longer. Just ko naman. It is. Tito boy number 2 said. Check his face, and in 3 words, I was groped in a way only 12-year-olds press charges with. But when it was over, they read a shopping list of my birthmarks. A mole on my face above the lip, one on my right arm, another on my left. Somehow summed up with this big-ass second toe hanging off my slipper, it meant, we're going to Sizzla, we're going to Sizzla. Lolon, my dear, don't you know, it means you're going to be rich and wealthy. Now go in and pray to St. Jude that he takes care of you. Tita is nodded. Rich is as rich does, so I flooded my moles in pageanteel profile as the clitter-clatter of ceramic tiles and cries of bong gong crowned me ghetto prince turned bona fide first-class citizen and American-born too. And if 20 years in a warehouse in a roach-infested apartment, the CTA weren't dues, they were proud of it because they had me. A long second to Pinoy. One day, moving on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. That's right there with the Jeffersons. Even though they knew life was harder than anything Weezy could imagine. As I stepped into my one-day kitchen of the future, mommy, that is my mom, said to me, get the calamansi juice, okay, anak? Opo. Yes. I said, but staring off, thinking rich people don't drink Alamanti or have so much use for mahjong. Superstars and shrimp chips somehow don't mix in. Maybe there's something better than Magnolia mango ice cream that I can afford now because I'm going to be fucking rich. Thinking too long about it, I guess, because Mommy, my mom that is, interrupted. Suppose you think you can do whatever you want now because you're going to be rich, huh? She said, suppressing 55 years of tears in the making. What? You think you could be lacing up, puñeta? God, slap! I told you, slap! Where are your toys? Slap! All over the sala, slap! 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 Face down to avoid or face down to hide my surprise. Face down to never let my tears work against me. Why? Slap! Are you crying? Slap! Face down as the muffled sounds of Tita Nita's claim that she had mahjong. Face down as I stared at my mommy, my mom that is. Slap! Mommy, my mom that is. Slap! Face down to see that life had slapped her too. With an irreverent second long toe. And those same brown circular splashes festering fictional fantasies of beach blanket bingo, running bamboo dreams up and down the twilight of the city, and presidential towers automatically stamped on working visas, passports to promised lands paid off in American currency, a white picket fence, a dog named Aso, no dick named Marcos, no overrun factories in Margondon, none of that. Here, only this kitchen of today, waiting, slap, crying, slap, swinging, slap, at the new hope that it was all worth it. Crazy Asian fashion. It's a race and I'm running. It's a race and I'm running. It's a race and I'm running for dear life. Not that there should be a reason for heavy breathing or beating my fist to my chest trying to tread that extra mile. Yeah, it's a race and I'm running, but somewhere along the lines I lost you. Among the clueless browns, the clueless blacks, the yellows, and what's worse, the just kicking it, the just bought into it, the quote-unquote less in-betweens all laughing on the sidelines. You know, you were there just a minute ago. Smiling and strutting and splendid in full stride, and we thought we'd finish together, or at least I thought we'd understand if we didn't. And no, this isn't a Jones poem, and no, this isn't a jazz poem, and no, this is another poem about poets' teenage angst. It's just another poem about race and why I'm still running in a land that doesn't want me, from people I never knew, in a culture I inherited by my namesake and skin, always popping as pop culture like pimples on my Filipino face. If it's a race, if it's a race, and if it's a race and I'm still running, where is that goddamn finish line? I'm sick of the cramps and the pain and the crap and the wisecracks. Go back to where you came from. So long have you been here in our country, as if I ever fucking left. You know, I love that spicy dish. What's the name of it? Insert pseudo-bastardized, anglicized, and humanized, commercialized version of your food here. Yeah, that's it. I love that shit. And by the way, what's the deal with this F-PH shit? You know, Philippines is spelled with a PH, Filipino with an F. Or sometimes a P, and when all of you pronounce F, it sounds like a P. Sometimes I break stride, and I say, it's like this. If I were to say, fuck you, I could spell it with an F, pronounce it, fuck you. I could spell it with a PH, enunciate it, fuck you. Or as my mom would say it if she were running next to me, fuck you, asshole. Asshole would be my mom's rendition, mind you. And every once in a while, in a blazing white glory, that is this educational school and scam system I hear, I believe in a colorblind society. Or, you know, I only believe in one race, the human race. If it's a race, if it's a race, if it's a race, and it's really one race, then why does Jesus save my mom while I'm out assalamu alaikuming? And why are there 12? I counted. There are 12 versions of jasmine rice at the one Orientalism store. And why do people watch telemass on WGN genuflecting on stair steppers for the one effect? Why can't no history book tell one story, our one story, without putting it in Riksha font or invisible ink? And why does Bill Clinton claim to be my adopted twin at his one chance for re-election? And why do Margaret Cho's one-liners still slip me into go Cho, rantings and ravings? And will I go blind if I go to bed one time with my hair wet? And why are there more than one pair of wooden fucking spoons and forks hanging on my walls? And does one bottle of kimchi, why does one bottle of kimchi make everything in my fridge smell like kimchi domination? And why does Magnolia mango ice cream cause me to get hard? Why does Takaki read 1,000 times make it seem like, you know, we've been here before? And why does one prop 187 sound like the one long contract of America we could never sign? And why are there 1,000 movements with no name until they www websited it, web killed it? Why was there only one Malcolm, one Warren Fortani, one Chavez, one Dela Cruz, one Carlos? Why do welfare mothers now worry about one lean card legacy and still hungry mouths to feed? Why are there border patrols chasing 1% of the population looking for the one American dream? And no, this isn't a Jones poem, and no, this isn't a jazz poem, and no, this is another poem about post-teenage angst. It's just another poem about race number 2. You want to run with me?
Yes, sir, because I'm sick of being gauged in degrees of black and white. I am not in between or gradations of. Cultures and birthrights are small ones in focus, and we naturalites swing like gates and old doors, crying grease for the fire because we're the same when we're burned. I cry grease for the fire because we're the same when we burn. And remember that time I told you how 5,000 years can become an after-dinner wafer in a lifetime or two? And I spread the legs of those 5,000 years and spell myself grand in dead jade and dry petals. Spell myself cruel like your fathers and mothers who prayed to their white flesh to keep them pharaoh in the after, because yellow is howling and me is yellow is howling at me.
Dressed to make Raggedy Ann look quite dandy. Dressed like an unemployed handy Andy with an unseemingly lethal silver chain hanging from my shoestring belt. Right up and down to my leather trifold. You don't have to look at my lack of currency. Custom fit loud and damn proud of my Pinoy blood. Young Asian man already too jaded and screaming, kill the white man! Not exactly a fan of a high-rise tan, a corporate tattoo in the shape of a half Windsor tie-tie. No, this boy will take your land stealing, land of the free buying, whiz kid from time frail, but ever so calculating perceptions for second speculation.
And we, many shades of soul, many lengths of tongue, many stories told, many bodies cold, because Thai consciousness and polychromatic living is not a matter of ideology, but of simply being honest for me.
Rigged, waiting for your monotypes in a dark math class, Jack. Jackie Chan, Amy Tan, 100 secret fucking sentences under my fist. I got your Hollywood ninja right here. Can't wait to ruin everyone's 3 fucking happiness, aren't I? A grungy and pop activist clothing, always past screaming, much ado about nothing. Best suited as your waiter, shoeshine boy, brown blending, elevator man, summer reflection in store windows, no Japs, no bending, no dogs or Filipinos allowed. I saw one to the camp, I wore one to the camps, the courts, the justice of the peace who said, don't you know it ain't right to mix dark and white meat at the table? Or ties, choked tongues swung by them, not in Streeterville, but in Watsonville. Find them $2,000 and no change for a Motown kill. A slap in the face across my Vincent chin. For every time I try to claim my Red Lantern legacy, my suit.
Asian in America, Asian man in America, second generation Asian American immigrant man in America, in the white dog suburban islands of one of the most segregated cities in the United States, trying to hustle some change and at the same time squeeze some fucking soul out of the monstrous plastic engines that print the paper money with this bitch-ass system in America. I wrestle hard with these identities, and not by moral analysis or political sloganeering, but by eloquent and dead-eye looks at the self, its many mirrors and the silence at its source. I call Lazarus from the tomb. I serenade Banana Yoshimoto. I don't fuck with you. I slip into the sublime. I receive postcards from Liam Lee and make babies in my spare time, and I make the bed springs sing when we do our ting-ting. I make the bed springs sing when we do our ting-ting, brewing queens and kings in our loins until the shit starts to sting. God damn, my shit burns like sin.
There's a fire up my ass with the Disney of Mulan, singing, dancing, stereotyping, float like a butterfly, sing like a bee, sting like a bee. You're a chinky twinkie just like me, 1 part history, 10 part lies, all part big screen fed to yellow eyes. There's a fire in my ass with a voice like Mr. Miyagi, sizzling, slamming, slithering, seething. What you gonna do about it, yo, homie, yo, dog, yo? What you gonna do about it? You chip chop ticky ticky too inky dinky. What you gonna do about it? Shh shh, hush hush, no talkie. What you gonna do about it? Wax on, wax off. You too whitey. There's a fire on my ass, fueled by little brownies, smiling, happy, slanty, empty. You gotta get yours, I gotta get mine. You just gotta keep it real. Whoop, there it is. Oops, there it goes. My culture in the toilet drops a piss at my toes. Word or die or live under white skies forever. We must word together. We must word together. The his, the hers, the ours. Reclaim the stolen hours. Reclaim the stolen hours. Reclaim the stolen hours.
We are proud Creole souls, pure mix-up. Names become knives, IDs masked with many eyes, and no articulate word is the how that I am. And sometimes my skin is yellow, and sometimes lemon porcelain. And the only cards that I can carry are jokers in America, in America, in America. Greeting many, I am greeted many ways. You speak excellent English. Go the fuck back to Japan. Yo, Chang Wan, get your ass out of the street. And sometimes konnichiwa, and sometimes gook or chinky eyes, and sometimes what's up, God? And sometimes whopping and rise, and sometimes your smooth, tawny legs clasped across my back, and I leap back stung. I leap back wrong, remembering my father cracked fortune cookie shell in the legs of someone else's Eden. Laying broke sugar, and in the hollow of his chest, the only intelligible thing that he could give, a Confucian aphorism. In my lucky numbers, you will meet a mysterious stranger, 10, 11, 25, 10, and no matter how much blood and semen I pour into a melting pot, Miss Liberty will always be someone else's woman, crying, ching chong, Chinaman sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Chiki chiki chong, Jackie Chan, Amy Tan, Jonah Boy, caught unseen, unheard in this land. This land of Sara Lee conglomerates and 3 happiness, good humor trucks, and no more than $20 in hand. Chase it, chase it, chase it. Abu is a convenient feature at 7-Eleven, and Russell Wong is my half-brother from overseas, from overseas, from overseas. Monsoons that they blame El Nino for really came from Mulan Disney dynasties, and Dragon Press, Cheeky Lee, press on nails, and come here, turn a tricky trick on my dicky dick. What? Watch out for the exotic form of VD. It's called American Green. You see, that shit will turn rice terraces in your convenient hometown barrio into Pepsi pop culture plans. Plants for junta hopes and killing fields, spewing heckling clouds of smoke and smoke, cloud and third world culture with the pseudo future in hosting the 3003 AT&T IBM Olympic Games. And the isms, the capital lettered isms, claiming new victims as Madame Butterfly traces outlines around John F. Kennedy's body. It was Frank Chin in the grassy knoll, riding Donald Duck and masturbating with 2 chopsticks, dreaming and tripping and dreaming and tripping on his monkey. Isms, running the gamut in your Honda, in your Beamer, or your Legend, or your Benz. Ooh, baby, you got what I need. But you say it's just a Hello Kitty fetish mixed with sake and maki from the Linkin Park Senko isms. Culture craps off Wailing Walls of post-generational diaspora singing Miss Saigon show tunes and karate chopping on Samurai Sunday, laughing at and living color, playing with Transformers. Isms, Voltron and Battle of the Planets, moving and growing and moving and growing towards Akira, towards Manzanar, towards Amerasian isms. University, diversity, isms. Shit that would make Rodney King look like William Buckley and my mom like a first lady.
So, sticky hands, we mean again, are you still using that old style?
And I say that my style is that style called no style that becomes Danny style and wraps his dragon tail around your new style.
You ain't shit. Your new style isn't shit. You try your new style on this bamboo stick and whoosh.
And whoosh, and the boom and the bap are the sides of my head, and these words stick in my throat, and my blood is rushing wind in the hollow of your bamboo hand. Bastard tongue, he says. Stone heart, he says. Muffled silence, dead ambition, lesser part. And motherfucker, you can't dance, he says. I says. And I look for my tongue in my mouth. I look for my voice in my belly. I look for my best defenses. I look for my chopsticks. I look for my scholarship papers. But I have no voice. I have no voice but my father's voice, bubbling up in me, spilling frustrated tea on the floor that I just cleaned. And I claw at my body to let the dance out of my pores, but no dance, but my father's dance. This uneasy, rhythmless dance that sweats in fear, not in time, and presses close all the day. My dad grew up without a dad, and sometimes I think that I did too, Dad. And I lost you, Dad, on the way to class, Dad, holding on to what I never had with sticky hands, and I'm afraid to plant a seed in this earth. I'm afraid to raise a child with a stone heart, muffled silence, dead ambition, lesser part, danceless part of the world.
So you call yourself a poet? Then tell me something good and lie!
I cry whisper. Lord, loosen my lips. Loosen my lips, oh Lord. And I will sing your praises in my bed, on the corner, and establish your temple in my notebook, on the corner, on the red line. Undulations of the train cars make my spine rattle. I am being rocked to sleep by Onami. Great waves. Jaja, your arms are great waves, and I am taken by their strength.
We're going to take a quick 5 minutes, so hit the bathroom, check out the community table where we've got all sorts of neat community stuff, and be back in 5 minutes.